So why exactly do we have a hard time with grouping up and coming together as one? I'm going to tell y'all why. That reason is because we are not breaking the cycle of harming ourselves. That is the reason why. Not breaking the cycle of harming ourselves. Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in to the chocolatelot. I'm your host, Almaruthe, and if you're new, go ahead and click that like and subscribe button and go ahead and share away, okay? If you are new to this channel, let me go ahead and say that this podcast is about discussing the issues and events concerning our Black community and possible resolves. So if you're on that empowerment stuff, this is a show for you. So with that said, I want to go ahead and take notes that, or make note that, I got my hair done, as you can see. For all you ladies wondering how or who slayed, let me tell y'all, it was Charlie Marie of Sacramento. You could go ahead and follow and DM her, book your appointment, ladies, at charliemarie.stylist. She is the truth and she slays every time. She's my go-to. Love you, girl. So go ahead and jumping into our topic of today, breaking the cycle. I want to begin by saying that it's no secret outside of our community that us folks, us Black people, are wanted as individually separate opposed to being together in groups. They fear us in numbers, but they don't individually. And there's a reason for that. As we all know, that reason is because when we come together, we are strong. Coming together built Tulsa, Oklahoma. Okay, coming together always formulates change, always formulates voice. And people fear that. So they do their best to use reinforcements to keep us separate, and that's just what it is. But the problem is that we cower in fear. So instead of coming together and uniting, we tend to pull apart. I'm starting to see some unity these days, but it's still got a long way to go. So why exactly do we have a hard time with grouping up and coming together as one? I'm gonna tell y'all why. That reason is because we are not breaking the cycle of harming ourselves. That is the reason why. Not breaking the cycle of harming ourselves. And where do I even begin to start with this? What we see as normal oftentimes is not. It's not normal. And we need to change our perception on a lot of things. And let me just say that a lot of our parents and their parents have been implementing selfish tendencies onto their children who typically meet early adulthood at the ages of 17, 18. Those tendencies tend to manifest as victimizing for their financial aid checks, giving them a hard time because you had a hard time, and teaching them the real world, not being present for them throughout their college or entrepreneurship journey, upholding them to tasks that meet your own needs, that in turn deprive them of their ability to focus on their studies, failing to encourage them to build wealth, not motivating them to upclimb because you want someone to nurse you. These are some of the selfish tendencies that are constantly being manifested over and over and over again to where it's a cycle. And I truly believe that these tendencies are so because you don't want your kids to surpass you in life. You do not want your kids. You would rather have massa go ahead, you would rather teach them or whip them in line before massa can do it. Okay, that is what is being demonstrated. It's not just me saying this. And I've spoken to Black supervisors, successful people, and individuals who have had a hard road reaching the bridge of success because of this, because of these tendencies that are not being changed. Now, a lot of your children are looking to you as lovers and protectors, and they are seeing that their lovers and protectors are intentionally drowning them. How can they learn to love themselves and other Black individuals if they are being traumatized by their own blood, their own flesh and blood, and peers pulling them down every chance that they try to take a step forward? It's no wonder why we have Black individuals in high positions that are not willing to do outreach and pull other Black individuals up to the higher chain ladder. So, I think that there's like an unspoken rule here. There's an unspoken rule that we can be selfish until our children turn 18. Then all of a sudden, we can see them as grown and being willing to make decisions for themselves and yada yada. But in truth, let a 20-year-old get gunned down by the police and media portray them as a grown individual, and then we're going to be in an uproar because we know darn well that 20-year-old is not as grown as they portray that 20-year-old to be. So you see where the contradiction is? You see where we need work? So, and I say this out of love because, not just from my own experience, but from the experiences of those working hard who really want to make a difference in life, but they're having a hard time because they keep getting pulled back by their own family. So how do we break the cycle? How do we produce Black individuals in high positions that are willing to help pull each other up, help pull other Black individuals that look like them up? Well, I got some ideas, and my first idea states that it starts in the home, where we are taught fundamentals of what we value and shown by example how we love ourselves. So that's first and foremost. And kind of bouncing off of that, I've got 4 ways that we can help solve this problem and break the cycle. And in speaking with individuals who have become successful, such as Dale Wiley over at T-Court Agency, a Black supervisor doing marvelous things and making beautiful differences in the lives of many. He had a very supportive family, and I've taken examples from the likes of him and individuals who are successful, as well as individuals who have struggled and had a hard time, and have given me advice on what could have helped them through their journey to become better. And here is 4 ways that we can start making some changes. Number 1, forgive those who have harmed you and provided hardships for you. Number 1, and adopt the mindset of wanting to help your peers and wanting to help your children. Firstly, share your knowledge. Don't hoard it just because you have resentment. This is step number 1. We have to let go and start making some changes. Step number 2, commit to being selfless with your children. Don't be shy in providing them with sheltered housing. You can't deprive a tree of fruit and expect it to flourish. Okay, giving is not always hindering. It's okay to house your kid if they're on the right track and they're not creating problems for you. Go ahead. Why not? What's the problem? We're living in times of gentrification where prices are high rising. There's nothing wrong with giving your kid a hand when they need it. And step number 3, be present in moments that you are needed. Learn with them. Prepare them for the next steps that await them in life. You cannot go send them to the wolves and just take a step back and see what happens. Chances are, if you don't know what's going to happen out there with them wolves, they do not either. So don't be shy in wanting to help them with an application process, be it a job or a school application. Learn about the financial aid steps with them, or even ahead of time, because you got to remember, the people out there don't love your child the way you do. They're not going to fight hard for your child and make sure your child gets it. So what's wrong with learning with them and preparing with them? Okay, 2 heads are always better than 1. You can still formulate a strong child and be at their side guiding them. And my 4th step is stop making excuses to take financial aid out of their pockets. Okay, to meet your own needs. You always give in real, oh, I'm teaching my child the real world. Well, guess what? Your child is Black. Your child understands what it means to be Black in America, has had enough experiences in life to know so. And your child has seen you struggle to pay your bills and work hard, and the atrocities you've had to undergo. Heck, they even see it in the media. So they are very aware of what the real world is and what awaits them. That's why they're so scared when high school's over. So what's the harm in helping them? What's the harm in allowing them to hold on to their money, because chances are they're going to need it. Chances are that's what's going to help them to build wealth. Give them every advantage that you can give them. All right? So let's start there. Let's work at that. So I also want to say, well, do those 4 things, and I assure you, I promise you, we will start to see more people not only, love one another and pull each other up the ladder, but give each other high positions. You'll see more of it. Okay. And let me go on to say that we can be our own worst nightmare. Too often we are. Let's stop hating ourselves. All right, because in order to stop hating, we've got to stop mistreating, and the mistreatment is what needs to be highlighted here. Okay, because you're not gonna go and love someone that's mistreating you. So let's stop enforcing that mistreatment on each other, whether you're kin or not. And parents, really start to set an example for your children to follow. They are watching you. You can't expect them to go and make huge progressions and you're not doing the same. They are watching you and soaking up game from you. What you teach them is what they will follow. So, you guys know that, but I know it's easier said than done, but life ain't easy. And we got to really try to, set an example every which way that we can. We may mess up, but we can always get back on our feet and start again. Now, we have a fear of being strong and executing our strength without permission. We shouldn't have to wait for permission to go ahead and, showcase our abilities, our talents, and our gifts. We should do that automatically. All right. We shouldn't wait for someone to tell us when to do good for our child. We should do that automatically. All right. So this is a part of the cycle that we got to break. And we are stronger together. And when we are together, we have nothing to fear. All right. We are strong. Strength, unity equals no fear. So the power and love of God is within us. Let's use it. Let's use it to propel us forward. Let's use it to break this notion out there that we should be kept individually and separate and not together. You know, with the housing back in the day when, there was all these issues happening amongst us Black folks, we didn't communicate enough because we were so separated. And because we were so separated and didn't communicate enough, a lot of the problems with housing started to build, and the effects of it are tremendous. You know, our kids having the ability to afford house, you know, it's the milestone. The gap to attain assets and resources is tremendous. I mean, we are living in times of hardship. And remember, Tulsa, Oklahoma didn't get built overnight, didn't get built by just one individual forming the city. It's a collective effort. So the more that we can get our perception clear and on how to treat each other and what to expect from one another, then the more likely we are going to produce children and produce fearless individuals who are willing to come together, work hard together, and unify and start to create something beautiful that will become a legacy. So let's do this, y'all. I believe in you. I believe in myself. And I'm so excited going to cross that stage next week and get my bachelor's of social work degree. So, you know, I'm all about empowering our Black community and giving back. So give me your feedback. Tell me what you think. Again, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. And thank you for tuning in to the Chocolate Lot. Peace.